All types of people flock to the Hawaiian Islands. Young Buddhist sun worshippers, that's my son Dana. I'm sure I had some disparaging remarks to make about these tourists, but I can't remember what they were. And now, 30 years later, I look just like them. That's the director of Beach Blanket Bingo. Some of the surf gang, Kimo Hollinger, Paul Gebauer, Mike Diffenderfer, and Pat Curran. Some find it difficult to adjust to the Hawaiian culture. They spend their days aimlessly sitting outside their hotels. Others have a purpose. These are two Mormon missionary surfers, no joke, Tom Keck and Tom Carlin, both of whom adjusted quite nicely to the islands. The missionaries were a little strange. So were some of the surf techniques. Let's go surfing at Waikiki Beach. This break is called Queen Surf. It's one of the zippiest of the 5 breaks at Waikiki proper. One of the Hawaiian Beach Boys. A beach boy was as close as you could get then to being a professional surfer, giving tourist surfing lessons and outrigger canoe rides, and surfing yourself the rest of the time. In 1956, I rented a room at a place called Froome's Rooms. It was about 100 yards from Queens. It had a balcony with a view and went for $25 a month. Some of the best times a barefoot adventurer could have was surfing the south shore of Oahu late in the afternoon with the water and air temperature both between 75 and 80 degrees. It would be half an hour before the guy got his board and paddled back out. 10 or 15 miles east of Waikiki is a famous tourist attraction called the Blowhole. Near the Blowhole is a good body surfing and bellyboarding spot called Sandy Beach. The waves break in very shallow water, more or less on the beach. You get turned around pretty good in the shore break at Sandy Beach. End up with about 5 pounds of sand in each ear. The forerunner of the boogie board was the Hawaiian Paipo board, usually just a small piece of plywood. With a Paipo board, you end up with 5 pounds of sand in each ear and slivers. The actual beach at Sandy Beach is sandy, but where you take off on the waves is the typical Hawaiian coral reef. If you were a white shark, this is what an hors d'oeuvre would look like. People ride surfboards at Sandy Beach now. Back then, with the boards of the day, they didn't. The trick to being a good body surfer was to be very casual. This guy never took his hands out of his pockets. Almost every hotel offered hula lessons. The hula skirt came with the room. They'd get the students up on the roof early in the morning. They didn't want them seen in the lobby. Most of them didn't stop talking long enough to listen to the instructor. The first thing to learn was the intricate hand maneuvers. That's not right, that's a Muppet. Intricate hand maneuvers like the you and the me. A real toughie. Once they master the You and Me and the Away We Go, they graduate to things like the Little Grass Shack, another one that pushes the limits of physical coordination, close to brain surgery. A one and a two and a cha-cha-cha. Still talking. Then they turn on the music, and it's the main event, the Bunyan Run. They had the most trouble with the hip action. They got all kinds of weird action going. Some of their hips even stuck out in front. The hula skirts came with a standard 38-inch waist. This one went halfway around. Back to the Little Grass Shack. One of my favorite spots for summer surf in the islands is a break called Number Threes. It's about halfway between the breaks at Waikiki and Ala Moana. It usually didn't get very crowded, and it's a top quality wave. The prevailing trade winds stand the waves up and hollow them out. Out in the water with Joey Cabell, one of the truly great surfers from Hawaii. Joey, along with Buzzy Bent, later founded the Chart House restaurants. Another young Hawaiian surfer on the right, Kimo Hollinger. Kimo also turned out to be a great big wave rider. He's now a fireman in the islands. Here are some of the earlier attempts at water photography. I was high-tech and had a plexiglass case for my movie camera. Bud Brown, who started surfing movies in the early 50s, used an old weather balloon. Summer surf in Hawaii was really a lot of fun. Warm water, trade winds, and lots of 3-foot hero waves. A young Wayne Miata. Sitting in the right spot was critical in water photography. Get close, but not get run over. This one gave me a crack in my high-tech plexiglass case.